What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel, and it's Friday, which means you get another video. So, sorry, I'm hyper. Today's topic is going to be study tips. Because who needs tips when studying? I know everyone does. So I'm going to give you guys the best study tips that I have. And this does not mean I'm an honor student. This does not mean that, I have A's across the board. But I will say I never failed a class. So that says something, right? Okay, so I am going to give you guys the best study tips I can give you. And I'm going to start now. So the best, well, no, not the best tip. The first tip I can give you guys to study is to read before class. I can't stress this enough. If you read before your class, when your teacher is lecturing, it just makes everything that your teacher's saying, it connects. Like, if you read before you go to class, everything connects. What you'll understand some things, and what you don't understand, more than likely you will understand after the lecture, especially if you point out to your teacher, hey, you went over this and I didn't quite understand that. It just kind of puts things more into perspective. So I would recommend doing that for sure. The second tip I would give would be to read your notes and the notes that you took during lecture after lecture. If you read right after lecture, it is like a proven fact that things will be more installed into your head. And if you do not read after lecture, you wait, I believe you will forget 70 to 80% of what you learned in lecture. So if you read before lecture, if you are taking notes and you're very attentive during lecture, and then you read again after lecture, you're probably already more than halfway prepared for your test. So I highly recommend that. The second tip I would give for studying is flashcards. This is very, very helpful. I know, especially when it comes for nursing, but even other majors, when it comes to definitions and stuff like that, flashcards, if you make them, that's studying, and then flipping them back and forth very repetitively and doing it consistently is a good way for those things to install into your brain. And the nice thing about flashcards is you can take them on the go. So you can have them while you're doing your laundry, if you're sitting in a doctor's office, while you are in the back seat of a car. I don't know, it's just, you can do whatever. I know I like to take my flashcards to work, and when I have downtime at work, I study them boom, 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 boom. It just works perfectly. Also, connecting flashcards to Quizlet. Quizlet is also a really, really good way to study. And if you're someone that doesn't want to continuously buy flashcards or keep having to make them, because making them is very time consuming, by the way, you can make flashcards on Quizlet. And I highly recommend that because that's something that I do, and it works for me. I make paper flashcards, but I also do Quizlet. I study both ways, and it just really, really helps me. Another tip I can give you guys as far as studying would be to teach the information that you learn to someone else. This makes your brain have to think of ways to say what you're going to say. You have to use your vocal cord to speak, what you learned and what you're educating the person on. So it just is really good to do that. It puts things more into perspective, and then you are probably even more likely to remember them. This definitely works for me. Another tip I can give you for studying is if your teacher does PowerPoints, which most do, professor, I think professor is a better word to use. We're going to use professor. Your professor makes PowerPoints, read them. It's a good way to study at home. Read them, go over them, and then write them out, and then read over the PowerPoints multiple times, and read over your notes that you copied from the PowerPoints and your additional notes from the chapter multiple times. It's not fun, but it will help things stick to your brain for sure. Another tip I can give you guys for studying is to do a lot of practice questions. You can never do too many practice questions, and doing practice questions, a lot of them, if you do a lot of them, there's only so many practice questions you can do. So doing that, when you take your test, you will see some of those same questions on your test. I know this is something that worked for other people, and it's also something that works for me, or has worked for me. And the more practice questions you do, the more familiar you become with the material. So I highly recommend doing practice questions. The best tip that I can give you, and the last tip that I can give you guys, is to, it's kind of two tips in one. Do not wait the night before your test to study. Just don't. And also, do not study too late. I know that's unrealistic for some situations, but it's better to, if you have a test Friday, it's better to study Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, and then Friday night, maybe like look over it like once or twice and then just put it away and rest your brain, because if you don't know it, you probably won't, and what you do know, it will show on the test. So give your mind, your brain that time to just relax, and then go in and take your test Friday, and you should kick butt if you used all my other skills. So those are the best study tips I can give you guys. I hope that they work for you. Please try them, the ones that you think seem the most realistic for you, and let me know how they work for you. I want you to like this video, I want you to comment, and I want you to subscribe to my channel. And I will be posting again Wednesday. It's Friday, so I'll be posting Wednesday. I don't know what the date is. I think it's the 22nd. Yes, something like that. So have a good weekend, and peace. I don't think I did that right. I can't really dance. See y'all.